First question to you about this deal with the GTS. What does this exactly mean for the New York Stock Exchange?
So first, let me just explain what a designated market maker does. Designated market maker works directly with our listed companies, and here on the exchange offers to buy and sell their stock at all times, even during volatile periods. In addition, the designated market maker makes sure that every single day our stocks have orderly opens and closes.
Right.
And so the good news for our listed companies is Barclays is selling to GTS. The wonderful people of Barclays are actually going with the GTS transaction, so it'll be seamless for our listed companies. And we're bringing to the New York Stock Exchange a firm that's committed to customer service and also committed to having world-class technology in these markets, which are admittedly very, very complicated.
Okay, but it's automated, though. It's more and more automated. So what happens to all these guys here then, right? Where do they go?
Well, that's the wonder of this place. It's the only place in the entire world where you have the appropriate blend of humans and technology. And so we have terrific technology, in some cases automated, but we also have human judgment. Again, not just on the open and close, but when there's a moment of disruption for our listed company stock, and that's why we get so many of the largest IPOs, 18 of the top 20 over the last couple of years, and we have so many roughly 3,000 listed companies here at the New York Stock Exchange.
But I mean, I think that is a big question on people's minds, though, Ari, is that what happens to the Barclays traders, and what happens to the people on the floor here then?
Betty, everybody knows that the Barclays team ran the classiest operation on the floor. They were the best on the floor. That same team is moving over and joining GTS. So it's going to be business as usual, but they'll have access to our sophisticated technology. So it'll be the best of both worlds. You'll have human judgment, floor trading transparency, and sophisticated technology. That's a world-class market.
And do you need the human judgment, particularly in volatile moments of trade? Like, let's say when we have huge sell-offs, people are, mass exodus out of the markets. Is that when you need that? And how are you going to ensure that that continues?
From our perspective, look, GTS trades in a lot of markets. In the U.S. cash equities alone, it's over 30 markets, dark pools, exchanges. What we think is unique about the New York Stock Exchange is that it's the only market that there's a person who is pilot in command of that security, who is responsible for orderly trading in that security. It's the only market like that. So when you merge that kind of transparency with good technology, especially during times of stress like August 24th, the action over the last few months has been tumultuous. I think that's pretty valuable.
It is. Given that volatility, Tom, I'm curious, how ready are you for more volatility here in the market?
I mean, we're ready. I mean, if you go back to the year 2008, 2009, we had about a year of volatility. So that was kind of the ultimate stress test for our systems and for our market, frankly. Last week was very tumultuous, but the market held up. Not just New York Stock Exchange, but industry-wide. I think it was Wednesday, there were 12.5 billion shares traded, which is almost double the annual average from last year. So I look at the entire system, not just New York Stock Exchange, and I think we're in a good, robust place.
Are you pretty sure we won't see another flash crash, another August swoon?
I don't want to prognosticate. I will point out, however, and credit to Mary Jo White and the SEC, there's been a lot of improvement since the flash crash. Limit up, limit down, more coordination among exchanges, more resiliency of the securities information processors. But since you asked about human judgment earlier to Ari, and now you've asked me about the flash crash, I'll give you an example of the benefit of human judgment. On the day of the flash crash, as you'll remember, a lot of stocks traded at a penny. Well, there's only one place where that didn't happen, and it was right here on the floor of New York Stock Exchange, because a human could look at that and say, I don't care what this system is telling me, that makes no sense.
Ari, talk a little bit about the deal itself. I mean, do you expect any kind of holdup at all, or is this going to be a pretty smooth transition?
Well, we think the transition is going to be very smooth. This is a very experienced staff. They were part of other specialist units before it was all put together with Barclays, and we look forward to working with them and Barclays to make this really smooth for listed companies and their investors.
You've talked about high-frequency trading before. I think you wrote an op-ed in the Journal not too long ago where you talked about increased transparency, and you welcomed regulators into this environment. So where are you with that?
Listen, the industry is transforming right before our eyes. It's becoming a big data, big technology business. We need firms like GTS on the floor who are specialists in applying responsible technology and innovation, because it's that technology that's going to be part of the market structure of tomorrow, and that will best serve New York Stock Exchange issuing companies and their investors.
Okay, but what kind of regulations do you foresee, or are you working with FINRA in terms of further regulations down the road?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, everybody wants the same thing, investor confidence. And you get that by applying smart, thoughtful, responsible, and data-driven regulation that will increase transparency and price discovery. And it's everybody's responsibility, every actor in the industry, the exchanges, the market-making firms, all investors, to work with regulators so that we continue to have the best market in the world.